So Dr. Umar is being cancelled and seen as a fraud nowadays. And I'm very glad this is happening because there's a lot of things that's controversial about this guy that actually need to be spoken about. So let's talk about it. He was talking to a group of black people in the UK. And shout out to this sister, she's from the UK and she addressed it differently. It's funny because she came with that UK vim that a lot of UK people have. But let's watch the clip and react to it.
He said, oh, I said I'm going to see Umar Johnson. He went, no, Mum, you're going to see Dr. Umar. And I said that was great. Then I told him how I watched you the other day on WhatsApp about your honey bunnies, no white bunny, chocolate bunny, which color bunny, and you was promoting all our black sisters. Do you know what my son said to me? He said, Mum, I understand all that. And I'm just going to quote what my 27-year-old said to me, who actually knows about you. Well, I don't know what he knows, but what he said was, Mum, why is it if he's talking about representing the black sisters and the black sisters, our brothers need to know who we are and be dating the black sisters in the community or go and find them in every other race. He said, why is it that Dr. Umar has please let me just say this, right? Why does he have 3 children with 3 baby mothers? And if they're all black queens, why has he not taken one of those queens and made them his absolute queen and showed the black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife? That's what my son said to me.
That's powerful.
The critique for Dr. Umar is that he claims that he cares about the black family and black excellence. But as we all know, the only way to make black excellence is to unite black families. Make sure there's fathers in the home, make sure that there's mothers in the home, make sure that the children are well cared for, and there's structure in the household. Because when there's structure in the household, that leads to children going out into the world and doing better. Now, let me just say this real quick because I'm from a single parent household. It is possible for a child to still do well in a single parent household because I'm doing well. And a lot of other black people or people that are not black have done well in a single parent household environment. So it's not impossible. However, it is better to have a 2-parent household. The big critique with Dr. Umar Johnson is that he claims that he cares about black excellence so much, yet he fails to perform in his household. He has 3 baby mothers and 3 kids outside of wedlock, and he's just out here doing what he's doing. Now, people would like to defend him, saying that, it's because he's working, he has to go about stuff like that. But what example are you setting when you are a person who screams black excellence and unite the black families, yet you have 3 kids that are by 3 different baby mothers, and you're just there preaching to everyone?
A short announcement. I just want to start this video off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts, okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite. And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter. But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me. You should never be too busy for your daughter ever in life.
Raised Dr. Umar's daughter. What I mean is when I was teaching in Baltimore, Maryland, I met his daughter like 50, 60, 70 times. And I had to raise her. I had to tell her right from wrong. Tell her, cover up your chest, button up your uniform shirt. when it was time for recess or lunch, the kids, especially the little girls, all they want to do is come back to the classroom and eat lunch with me and socialize with me, a grown man. Why? Because Dr. Umar's gone, left his kids to go wage a revolution, to go build a school that he ain't building. A lot of Dr. Umars out there. They talk real good, but where's the action?
Now, granted, a lot of people could say that, oh, he's learned from his mistakes, whatever it is. However, there is a clip of him, if I can find it, I'll put in the video. But there is a clip of him talking about how his women didn't prove that they're worthy enough for him to marry.
Felt they should have become my wife purely due to pregnancy. And I told them I would not make a lifelong decision about who I'm going to spend the rest of my life with purely based on pregnancy. I said we can continue to explore, to date. I would like to move in with you. We have to learn more about each other before we decide to spend the rest of our lives together. And they arrogantly said, it ain't going to work that way. I need to be your wife, and I need to be your wife now. Had they been a little bit more patient and humble with me, either one, they would have became my wife. I don't know if they know that. They know it now because they're going to see this. Right. If they would have just been a little bit more respectful of where I was coming from, they would have got married. I would have married either one because they were the mothers of my daughter.
That's why he didn't end up making a family with them. And for me, that's so funny because how dare you? You know, you claim that you care about the black family so much. And these women were good enough to sleep with, good enough to impregnate, but they weren't good enough for you, Mr. Dr. Umar Johnson, the special grade sorcerer of your time. They're not good for you to marry. So they're good for you to use and do all what you want to do and have your children, but not good enough to marry. If you ask me, that is stupidity of the highest order. And anyone who wants to defend that, well, you can go in the same boat as him. We have to look at the damage that Dr. Umar has done in his daughter's life. If you go on social media, I'm not going to put all of these things on my video because I don't feel comfortable showing her downsides and portraying her as if she's some kind of crazy person. But from what you can see, there's a lot of damage and emotional trauma going on with the girl. She gets into fights. She's always crying on social media. And from what everyone can see, she constantly has frequent mental breakdowns. Now, a lot of critiques, people are saying that, oh, she's basing her hate based off of what the mom is saying to the girl, which is a valid concern because I think a lot of us can agree that there are just bad situations where there's a bitter baby mother and she's difficult with the father to the point where the father kind of loses the kind of passion to go and get in contact with the child. That is a possibility. However, we have to sit here and think about the whole situation because I think context is very important. For one, irrespective of whether that's the truth or not, this daughter is damaged. This daughter has a lot of things going on with her. She is really messed up, all because of this whole situation and lack of discipline. And if we go back even to considering about the mother's feelings, we can't fully say that the woman is crazy because we all have to understand that any woman would be bitter if this was, her situation. Think about it like this, because you heard Dr. Umar's words. He said the case of, oh, well, we can explore each other. I'm not going to marry you as of yet and stuff. I want to live with you, but I don't want to marry you. What woman wouldn't be annoyed at that? Granted, a lot of people are in the boat of, well, that shouldn't stop the mother from giving the father her child. Yes, that shouldn't, but it's still a reality. People are acting like, oh, some people should just get over the hurt and do what's, they're meant to do. And whilst that is the truth, two wrongs don't make a right. You have to understand that your actions cause people to move a certain type of way. Obviously, if they were so close to the point where they slept with each other, clearly it wasn't all bad, but it switched midway because of his actions. And now people are saying that she's brainwashed the child. Of course, there'll be resentment. We don't even know if it's brainwashed. We don't even know what she said. We don't know anything. The point is, this is all Dr. Umar's fault in that situation. We then now have to go into his other case because a lot of people will say, well, we can't use that situation to judge him because he has openly said that his problem was lack of sexual discipline.
I saw something floating around, something about your daughter, potential daughter.
Oh, that is my daughter.
Okay, yeah. I want you to touch on that because I wanted you to speak on it from your perspective outside of just what's going on in the world.
Well, I would say, not to go too deep because that's
for sure.
But I would say my situation is the perfect situation that young black men or any black man will find yourself in when you don't practice sexual discipline. Because see, when my daughter was born, I was happy to be a father and I was ready to be one. But I was told that if I didn't marry the mother, I wouldn't be allowed to be. You see?
I went through that.
Yes, that was a pregnancy for marriage. It had nothing to do with me not wanting my child. I was ready. I was hyped. I was happy. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I said, I want this baby if you're going to let me be a father. I said, I don't want to be going to no child support and I don't want to be going to no damn family court. And lo and behold, the very things I asked not to be subjected to, she subjected me to them.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so, according to my daughter's narrative, her mother didn't share the truth with her. You felt her mother didn't tell her the real reason why I kept you from your father. And that was because I didn't marry her.
Pay attention to what he's saying and how he's saying it, right? If it's so true that you couldn't meet your daughter because of the mother, fair enough. That's all right. I can hear that. What's stopping you from being there for your daughter, who has openly said that she's going to the mental health clinic up and down because she is self-deletion minded? What is the excuse there? That's what I'm trying to understand. With his language, he's trying to shift the blame solely on the mother, right? He took accountability for his sexual discipline, but he's making it seem as if it's just the mother who is a bad person. Yes, there are cases where there are evil mothers keeping their child away from their fathers. I'm not going to deny that. But equal to that, there's also cases of men who are just deadbeats and they dance around the excuse of, oh, the mother won't let me see my children, when really and truly, those men don't care about the children like they say they do. The only case where you'll find them claiming that they care about those children is in public, because they know that if they give off the impression that they don't care about the children, then they know the social demonization that they're going to face. So it's more so for them. And I have no doubt in my mind that this is that case. But we're not going to go off of feelings. We're going to go off of facts. Now, think of it this way. This daughter that I've showed you is 22 years old. The next daughter that he has is 13 years old. And I don't know about the other one. So far, I only know of 2 children. So it could be a case that he has 2 baby mothers. But even with him holding himself accountable, 22 years of age, giving birth to the first daughter, 13 years old for the next daughter. I don't know how the other one is, but there's a significant 9-year gap, and you still made the same mistake. And obviously, from what we see through his posts, the way he talks about, black women and wanting to indulge and stuff like that, he still talks about black women in a lustful way. So this thing where he's holding accountability like he should have had better sexual discipline, right? He's still doing that same action. He's still sleeping with this woman. And God knows how many situations he's in right now. We don't know the full extent, but from what we can tell, everything that Dr. Umar has done, has led to this. It is his fault. He has to take accountability for it. Irrespective of what the mother is doing, he's the originator of this problem. And from what you can see, you can't try and fix the world's problems if you're leaving your daughter damaged. Your daughter needs help. You should be focused on your daughter. But he speaks in a very kind of way that is so dismissive to it. I'm tired of seeing people on social media preach something and not practice that same thing. Because how can you make an impact with people if only your words speak for you and your actions don't? I am tired of seeing hypocrites on social media saying all the most majestic and beautiful things that are correct, yet their actions don't show it. And the reason why that's bad is because then people will not follow that advice. People will not be likely to listen to you and do better with their lives because they see you doing the complete opposite. People naturally are tired of following hypocrites. People do not want to listen to hypocrites. People are not going to understand the point of view. Even if you say the most beautiful, academically correct thing, they are not going to listen to hypocrites. And I think it's insulting when you say you care about the black family and black excellence so much, yet you are part of the thing that's destroying the black family the most. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the black family is completely suffering and, dads are not fully in the home and things of that nature. Yes, are there cases where fathers are in the home and the black family is not doing so well? There are cases like that, but black people are doing very well in modern day society, and fathers are still in the home, mothers are still in the home, and children are still growing up with both parents. So we're not going to sit here and act like, this is a very bad, big, large, wide thing that's going on. But it is a reality for a lot of people. And when Dr. Umar Johnson goes out and preaches these things, it seems like he's doing all of this for a scam. And that's when people are not going to follow. I'm not going to sit here and say that Dr. Umar Johnson is completely wrong. He is correct in the sense that black families should be united. But why aren't you holding yourself to the same standard? And why do you think that you should be the leader of that when you don't practice what you preach? This is my problem with a lot of people. You say a bunch of stuff that sounds very nice to a certain demographic, you build this community, and you don't practice what you preach. The same thing with Derek Jackson or Sadia Khan or all these bums that you see all over the internet. They are doing this for a grifting reason.
Program coming out for the ladies is called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. You make a $500 donation to FDMG Academy, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take you to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500. You don't pay for the lunch, I pay for the lunch. Any restaurant in the state of Delaware. Oh, yes, brothers, don't hate.
And that's why it annoys me, because when they do it for a grifting reason, people are going to struggle more to follow people on the internet. If there's anything you individual watching this can learn, make sure your actions follow with your words. You cannot preach the biblically correct things, yet you move like the devil. We see that a lot of times. People know scripture, but they act like demons. People know all of the right things to say, but they act like bad people. How can you do that? How can you sleep well at night? How can you even think you can be a point or a leader to people when you do the opposite of what you preach? Now, in the case of Dr. Umar Johnson, has he contributed to the black community? I'm not going to take away his things that he's done right. He has contributed in positive ways. He has said some things correctly. But overall, you see why his legacy has fallen the way that it's fallen, because he's not a reliable person. And now people are calling him a scammer, not, understanding where he's coming from. I'm not here to even villainize the dude, but the guy needs to do some serious self-work, and he really needs to reflect upon his own life before he starts preaching to other people. Because I hate when they do, it's okay for me, but for you guys, it's bad. That ish doesn't make any sense. We need to start checking people's credentials, and we need to start seeing what people's lives are looking like. When I was growing up, when my pastor would preach something, his actions aligns with what he preaches. Therefore, it's what made him a very great leader. He's off in America now. I haven't seen him since, but seeing that leadership and that masculine role where what he says follows up with his actions as well, it made me want to be a person that makes sure that whatever I do, especially with YouTube, because it's going to be a big channel one day, people are going to be, looking as to my advice and things of that nature. I need to make sure that my actions match up with my words, because in the event that you get exposed, it affects everyone involved, but no one experiences more pain than the followers of that person. For the simple fact that they start to not do the right thing, even if they know it's the right thing. They think in their heads, well, my leader did the wrong thing, so it's okay for me to do the wrong thing as well. And what that leads to is stagnancy, no growth, no development, all for the simple fact that the leader's betrayed his followers' trust, and now he's left a massive group of people wayward simply because they lost confidence in doing the right thing because their leader couldn't hold themselves to that standard. It's so embarrassing. It's so silly to do. But yeah, man, like when we see leaders like this, so bozos like this, it's a shame, because you want so badly for them to be the person that makes a difference. However, when you then see that they are not the person that makes a difference because they contribute to the problem and it's just for a grift, what are you meant to think at that point? I guess the main thing we need to all make sure is that in our own lives, let's make sure that we are doing what's right. Let's make sure that we are teaching what's right as well. And let's make sure that we are holding each other accountable. Just because Dr. Umar is a black person that preaches for black excellence doesn't mean he's void of accountability. He needs to be checked. He needs to be put, in a position where he is told that, hey, what you're doing is wrong. And he needs to humble himself. You cannot be out here saying, oh, you care about black excellence, yet you've made 3 households without a present father. You may provide financially. You may, see your children every once in a while, but not being married to any of those women because of X, Y, and Z reasons, because they're not good enough. Who said that those women aren't good enough to be married with? They were good enough for you to sleep with and good enough to have babies with, but not to marry with. Get the hell out of here. And even if it's a case where it's like, okay, well, the first one may have been a bad one. Okay, cool. What about 2 and 3? You know, we often talk about women making this mistake, having babies by multiple baby daddies. Let's hold the men accountable as well, because the fact of the matter is there are some men who need to keep their pants tied as well. It's not just women, and men like him need to keep his pants up and really check himself. But what do you guys think about this whole video? Do you agree with what I have to say, or do you have any opposing opinions? As the case may be, I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say. That being said, God bless, take care, and I'll see you guys next video.